Let me ask about one of the fun pieces of equipment out there recently. If you've dug into it, what are your findings on like the SLS camera?
Oh, I've dug into this thing.
Oh, goody. Let's hear.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
SLS
I have
camera.
my opinion. I'm not a big fan of them, so I
Good.
think we're probably going to
You'll
agree.
like this. The SLS camera is the Xbox Kinect. Let's make that clear.
Yep.
It's a game peripheral. That's what it is. It's designed for video games. It has a lot of flaws. And the flaws are that it's looking at for human figures, but it can't really see the human figures. It's looking at it and it's judging the area. First of all right, so by Microsoft instructions, per Microsoft, when you set this up, you're supposed to have a 10 by 10 to 12 by 12 area clear of furniture. Nothing is supposed to be in that area. So guarantee 95 to 99% of investigations already break that rule.
100%.
Most of the time, it's what?
100%.
It's on a handle. It's got a tablet. People are walking around with it. And you're going room to room. You're seeing everything. Again, you're not supposed to move it around. There's a reason when you turn on the Xbox, the Kinect would always go up and down. It's looking at the room. And it's supposed to be stationary. So it knows when something moves into the scene. If you're constantly moving the Kinect around, everything is moving to that software. So everything's coming in. So if you have a chair, if you have a backpack, if you have the end of a sofa, if you have cushions on the sofa that are positioned a certain way, yes, it's going to pick it up and think it's a figure. I've gone around. I did an article on this where I really went into a deep dive of development and the software and how it reacts to the environment. And I also did a video where I demonstrated just in my basement with a ceiling fan and book bags and chairs and trash bags, all kinds of stuff that it picked up and assigned a stick figure. Does this thing pick up ghosts? No. There's absolutely nothing that says it does.
Yeah.
There's no substance there for it to pick up on anyways.
It's going to see stuff and say, hey, you know what? This kind of looks like a figure. And remember, like Microsoft went into people's homes and they watched people of all shapes and sizes, from children to adults, big, skinny, tall, whatever. And they base the software off of those movements. They put them in the motion tracking and they track the movements. They base the software on that. But the software is also designed to make guesses, because just you guys are watching me just like the camera of the Kinect. So if I'm a game player, and one of the most common games for that system was a dancing game. So if I'm standing here dancing and I go like this, what happens? This arm disappears. It can't see it anymore. So the software has to make a guess and say, all right, where is that arm? Where is that other leg? Because that one leg is behind the other one. Now I have to make a guess. So when you see these random stick figures pop up, they're not standing still. They're always jittery.
Yeah.
They usually look like a mutated alien, for one. And then they're always jittery. They're always popping around because the software is not sure. It's like, I don't know where the arm is. I think it's supposed to go here.
Yeah.
But I don't see an arm. So I'm going to put it there and I'm going to move it around a little bit and we'll see what happens. But then when you move the camera itself a few inches, it disappears. The ghost didn't disappear. It got a better look.
Yeah, one of the things that we noticed, because my kids had that thing, it's like, oh, let's get this thing for the kid. Well, my grandmother was like, oh, I'm going to get this thing for the kids. My kids loved it for, I don't know, like a month. And I was like, man, I got to move. Great. Just want to sit there with the controller in my hand. But a lot of times, like, the kids, they'll just be standing there and it'll pick them up, and if their little avatars are in game, and then all of a sudden they like get disfigured and like arms like in places it shouldn't be. And then I see people who use this for investigating and they're like, oh, what's going on? It's like morphing into something else. It's like, is it trying to materialize? And it's like, no, that's a glitch. Like, let's.
You also have the examples where people are like, look, this anomaly was there, this entity is there, and I went over to it and asked it to grab my hand, to hold my hand, and you'll see like the stick figure kind of go like this.
Yeah.
Well, if you actually took the time, and I'm not picking on you guys, I'm saying in general, if people took the time to actually set this up and play with it, and you get it set up on something where it assigns a stick figure maybe to like a chair, and you walk over to it, it is common for you to stick out your hand. It will try to jump to you because it's looking at distances. At this point, it's not looking at just individual figures. It's saying you're the same distance away from the camera as this chair is. Maybe you're part of this figure, and therefore it's trying to stretch out where it thinks the arm is, and now apply it to your arm because you're the same distance away. It really gets complicated. I mean, this is more than just like a 5-minute explanation.
Sure.
But I mean, there's a mode. If you download the software from Microsoft, and you can still do that, it's free. You can download it. It's open source. So that's what bugs me when people pay like $500, $600, $700 for that SLS system. First of all, I think they're committing a felony. Not the buyer, but the seller, because open sourced software from Microsoft, you can't sell it. You're not supposed to be selling it.
Yeah.
But they do anyway, under the guise of, well, we changed the framing and stuff like that, and we're selling the system, not the software. Bullshit. But you're not supposed to do that. But if you download the software onto your laptop and you plug in the Xbox or the Kinect to your laptop, which this is what I do, and then shine it around, point it around, you can play with it, and you can see how two stick figures will interact. At first, the stick figures try to stay away from each other. The software tries to keep them apart, but the closer you get, they're going to combine. That's just what it does. So yeah, it's not a ghost hunting tool. It's not an investigation tool. It's certainly not an accurate any kind of tool, except for a game tool. That's all it is.
Under proper use, I believe it has been said that it only works like 70 some odd % of the time. Anyways, under the normal circumstances. So
as a game tool, is that what you're saying?
As a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because most households don't have a 12 by 12 area that they can clear all the furniture out.
Correct.
So you're going to have all these other interferences, tables and chairs and couches and, mom walking through where you're trying to do your dance party, and go, Mom, get out of the way. But, that's just the way it is. And it's going to pick up plants and like my book bag, my laptop bag, it picked that up all the time. To the point where I could, if I put I think I have a video of this, my laptop bag on a chair, it assigned a stick figure to it. And then I went over, picked up the bag, and I lifted it up like this. And the stick figure is going up and down with the bag. And I'm like, oh, look. And I turned the bag around, and it just moved around. I mean, that's what you need to do. And that's what I encourage people to do. If you really think your Kinect is picking up ghosts, then stay at home where, as long as you don't think your house is haunted, stay at home, turn it on, and walk around your house. Play with it. That's what you need to do. You need to play with this equipment and test it out. See what affects it. See what doesn't affect it. See if you can manipulate it. Try to manipulate it.
Yeah.
That's how you start to understand how to use it and how it works. And you'll be better off if you insist on taking it out to a haunted location, then you'll be better prepared to work with it.